Hi, Marissa here with Homeschooling, and this is week 14 of 2008. Super excited. This week we did a scavenger hunt, and for a while now I've been wanting to do a homeschooling scavenger hunt where they are given a homeschooling problem, and there's some maybe associated app. They type in the answer to the homeschooling problem, and then the app will give them back the location of the next clue or homeschooling problem. And so then they'll run off and they'll find the next clue. But the idea being that you finish your homeschooling as you get through the scavenger hunt, and by the end there's some treat or prize or something fun. And haven't been able to figure out how to do it. Couldn't find the right app, was getting really frustrated, and then I realized we can create it on Google Docs or Google Spread, Google Sheets. So my husband and I, Kyle and I, sat down and we did it. This is just what the kids see, and I've done a whole video on how it works, and if you want to try it, warning, it takes 2.5 hours. It took me 2.5 hours to get it set up. What I did is got up in the morning, took all of their homeschooling, their math and their language arts they were supposed to get done, cut up the sheets, made copies, cut up the sheets, typed in the answers. I had the answer key, so there wasn't me answering everything, but typed in the answer key in this second sheet. It's called Clue Keys. We have clue, the codes, which are the answers, and then where the next egg is hidden. So I went ahead and typed in all of the answers, and then decided on a series of locations where I was going to be hiding the egg. Someplace that was obvious enough they would know what I was talking about with a single word or a couple words, but not public enough, not present enough that they would happen upon the egg. Didn't actually work. They kept finding them, and it'd be they'd go over to get a snack and they would see it hidden in the back, or they'd go, they just kept accidentally happening upon them. Somebody would leave a door open. Hey, look, there's another egg. But I took them all, cut them up, put in the code, put in the answers, and then, because it's right after Easter, that's what got us started, I took the cut up sheet, stuffed it into here, and then stuffed it into the egg, and then placed it wherever it was that was supposed to be next on the scavenger hunt. Worked great. Took a while to set up, but the kids were so excited. We got through half of our homeschooling in a half an hour, which is insane for our family. After about a half an hour, they started losing steam. I think partly because I didn't include a way for them to know how many eggs they had. So, you could be fairly easy with that and tell them, you have 10 eggs. There are this many hidden for your scavenger hunt. And I had them going on separate scavenger hunts. So as one worked, they were working closer to their endpoint, and the other closer to their endpoint. Other things that I would do different, and did do different the second time we tried it. It's really hard to stuff this is a half sheet, but it is a half sheet that was made that I just shrunk from a full sheet. It's really hard to stuff a full sheet if this one's a writing assignment, they have to write 4 questions. It's really hard to stuff that whole sheet into one of these eggs. I have 2, these really big ones, and I had to be really picky about which assignments I use those for. So doing it again, I would shrink everything down so it's easier to hide. I also, the second time we did it in this week, because they were so excited about it, they wanted to do another scavenger hunt. We, instead of doing eggs hidden, I took one of our floor puzzles. It has 48 square, 48 pieces, and I just hid them everywhere. Typed out where I hid each of them, and then associated that with the different assignments. Doesn't have quite the same effect as I'm answering this, and this particular clue is going to lead me to the next clue. I just put all of the homeschooling assignments into their backpack, because they were shrunk now. They fit into these little backpacks. And so they would just pull out whatever assignment they wanted to do, and they knew that assignment was going to lead them to a puzzle piece. So they didn't know when when they had all the puzzle pieces, it became really obvious. We're missing 5, let's go finish it. But it didn't have the same dot-to-dot effect. You could do the same thing, actually. You do the same thing without Excel. Just write down where you hit each of them, cut them all up, put them in a hat. Kid answers a question, he gets to pick something. He or she gets to pick a question out of the hat, or a location out of the hat, and go find their puzzle piece. So there are easier ways, I think, to have not quite the same experience, but something that's hands-on like that without spending 2.5 hours. It was fun, and we might do that again, maybe once a month or once every 2 months. But the girls loved it, and they thought that was really novel, so it was fun, but it takes some work. And other ththings we did this week, we created, so for our STEM classes, it was so fun, we did a zip line off of, it's becoming spring, right? So we want to be outside, did a zip line off of the playground. Just took a rope and tied it to one end, tied it to the other, and had all the kids create a little zip line containers that they had to put a pound weight in. My husband's got a weight vest. We took all the weights out of it and had him launch this pound weight down. And that was a great experience for all the kids. We posted on Instagram, had a little video. In fact, because we did it out at our neighborhood playground, we ended up with a handful of 3- and 4-year-olds who came out and wanted to participate. And so they did. They built their own, and they had the pulley or hooks or all sorts of ways to try to get these containers to slide down the rope. The second STEM, we did elevators. That was really fun too, but it took a little longer, and the kids were all really fast to make their elevator unit with the string, but they struggled a little bit with not touching the string and not touching the box. Those were the 2 rules. Can't touch the string, can't touch the box, but you have to get it to the top of the table. So it ended up I had to build a solution. And once I built one and they could see it could be done, how it could be done, they all 4 or 5, however many kids we have in my class, all of them were able to create some version where they got their elevator up to the top of the table. That one just took a little longer. So anyway, it was a really great week, and we have some exciting ideas coming up. I don't know what we're going to be doing next week, but it'll be fun. So anyway, we'll see you guys next week.